I don't know if March is historically a bad month for eBay sales, but it is turning out to be a bad one for me. So we're just gonna muscle through these bad sales days and try to get some more items listed on eBay so that they can sell and start earning me some money. Here we go. Okay, we don't have a lot of exciting things to take photos of today, but we're gonna go through what we've got and see if any of this is gonna make us any money. Hopefully it will. Right here I have well, honestly I don't know what it is. Bally Yeti. It's some sort of a funnel filter for coffee, mocha. It's all in it. Everything in here is in Italian, so I can't really read it. I know that people who are into their coffee stuff are really into it, so I'm hoping that this can earn me a little bit of money. I can't remember right off the top of my head what this had been going for, but I'll take these pictures, and then once we put this into the eBay app, we'll take a look at what we're going to list it for and see what kind of profit we can expect to get on this little funnel. I got this from one of the Goodwill bin stores, the discount stores where anything that they can't sell at the regular store, they send it off to the bin store and they sell everything there by the pound, which isn't necessarily as great of a deal as you might think because clothing is expensive. I mean, clothing is heavy, which makes it expensive. I'm not really much of a clothing buyer. I don't like to do clothes. I talk about it all the time how much I hate it. And I do buy clothes sometimes, but the few times I've been to this bin store, it's not really convenient for me to go to, it's pretty far away. I have not even looked at the clothes while I was there. I just looked at the hard goods, which are it's just everything dumped. I mean, just like the name suggests, it's a bin store, so everything is in these bins. You have to dig around and see if you can find anything good. It's not really that much fun to go to those stores. And like I said, I don't know if it's really even a great deal. I don't know. I can't remember what they charge by the pound, but everything I bought there ended up costing about $25. You'll see some of it here today as we go through here. This thing weighs almost nothing, so it probably cost pennies. But I just took how much I figured out how many items I bought there and divided the amount that I spent by that amount. So I think it was $25 and I got about 17 or 18 items. A couple of them were board games that were, once I got them home, they were incomplete. So I'm going to be trying to sell some of the pieces for replacement parts, which is not the best way to make money on eBay. That stuff takes a long time to sell. You got to find the exact right buyer who wants, well, you'll see, goalpost for a football game. But I already spent the money on these games, so I'm going to try to get something back from them, even if it takes a year. Okay, I'm going to start over with these photos since I cleaned that. It had a little dust on it. So, Bally Yeti. I assume because it's Italian, coffee people are into Italian stuff. And I'm thinking this will... I didn't see an exact comp on this, but some similar ones. And let's see. We'll put this into the eBay app right now and see. I think I have it listed probably at about $17. We'll go here. Funnel. I'm going to search my drafts. I always write drafts up of my listings. And then once I have a decent amount of drafts, I'll bring those items down to my photo studio here and take the pictures and put the pictures directly into the eBay app. So I think I have about 18 drafts. I won't go through that many photo sessions tonight. But this one, okay, I'm only trying to get $12 for it. $11.99 plus shipping. So what did I pay for it? I've estimated I paid $1.57 for it. So I divided everything up, like I said, divided by 18, come up with $1.57. And then for these board games, since they're not going to sell on their own, I put the pieces, I'm separating out the pieces, and then each of those, then I divided $1.57 by however many pieces I got. So these board game pieces basically cost nothing. Whoops. I'm going to put, in the eBay app, I'm going to put the location where I just put that funnel, so I'll know where to find it when it sells. Assuming it sells. And that location was in a box called H5, so I'm putting that into the custom SKU field here on the eBay app, which is underneath, is the very last thing under the item specifics section of the eBay listing page. So that's one thing finished. We're ready to go to the next thing. Since I was talking about board game parts, we might as well look at them. This is a board game called, it was called NFL Showdown. And honestly, even if it was totally complete, I don't know if it's worth more than $20 or $30. Probably not even that much. So I probably shouldn't have bought these games, but I got caught up in the the fever of the Goodwill bins, and I started just grabbing things that I thought I might be able to sell. So I ended up with this board game, which was mostly complete except for the board, probably the most important part. So I decided we'll just skip over trying to sell the whole thing and just sell these pieces. They're not going to sell for much. I don't think any of the ones that I got are super high demand. I'm going to do these. Let's see. 32 footballs. Replacement pieces for this game. So all this stuff's made out of cardboard. So if you have this game and you want to play it and your pieces were damaged, it's not unlikely that somebody will purchase this stuff. It's just not going to be somebody right away. So I got 32 footballs here. I don't even know. Do I go crazy taking a bunch of pictures? Or do I assume somebody's going to buy this, knows what they're buying? I'm only going to take 4 or 5 pictures. My lens is telling me, my camera's telling me the lens is dirty. Excuse me. Okay, so a few more photos, call it a day. There's 2. I'm putting this directly into the app, like I said. I usually use the default Android camera rather than the one that's built into the eBay app. Although that might be faster to do that, I have had a lot of trouble with those pictures becoming blurry using the camera in the app. So I just take the pictures with my phone and then upload them directly into the app. I'm only trying to sell this for $6.99 plus $4 shipping. So in the end, I've called this, I've estimated this has a cost of goods of 40 cents. So if I can sell it for $6, I'm still making out, but I'm not sure if this is worth messing around with. But like I said, I spent the money on this game. I'm going to try to get a little bit of something out of it. Okay, I put the photos in already. Now we'll go to the item specifics, go to the custom SKU field. I'm going to put it right in that same box I just came from because I know there's a little bit more room in there. And I put in this custom SKU field. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. I usually put in the location where I have the item stored. If you're starting an eBay business, one of the first things you should do is come up with some sort of an inventory system, because you will not be able to remember where you store things. So whatever your system is, come up with some kind of system. Once you have 100 items in your store, you cannot remember where 100 items are stored. So in my case, I have a lot of boxes and shelves. I have numbers and letters on those that tell me something. This one is called H5, this box. I put in here, in this custom SKU field, I also put 40 cents that I paid for the item. GWB for Goodwill Bin, so when this sells, I'll know where I got it from originally. And then the date I purchased this. So I've had this since February 21st already. This stuff has been sitting around waiting to get listed. And I'm just finally getting to it now. Today is March 12th or 13th? 13th. So nearly a month these things have been sitting waiting for me. And I'm finally getting to them. Okay, here's some other things I got from that store, from that Goodwill store. Again, I didn't spend any time looking these things up in the store, which I normally would because I was paying such a small amount for them. So just by weight. I grabbed a couple of books that I thought were good. This one is, I probably should not even bother listing it. Lord Jim. This is a Heritage Press edition. They made, pseudo fancy books. I think it was probably a subscription service. So once a month you would get a book in a slipcase, some kind of public domain title. Many of them had, it should have come with a little magazine type thing, a little pamphlet that was called, I can't remember what it's called, the Sandpiper, something like that. And that little book would tell you the history of the novel or the book, then the story about the process of creating this new fancy version of it. This one doesn't have that Sandpiper. Even if it did, I think it's only worth about maximum $12. I'm taking pictures from the cover from all angles, then out to the inside. This one has this Ex Libris sticker in here, so that will decrease the value a little bit. It has a lot of yellowing around the edges. This one is from 1959. I have quite a few of these Heritage Press editions. I had a lot, I sold a lot, and I still have a few. They're not worth as much as I wish they were, but they're not garbage either. So if you get the right one, it could be worth $60, $70, maybe even $100. I sold some in lots. Here's all of the maybe H.G. Wells books or something like that. I think they specialized in public domain titles that they wouldn't have to pay any rights for. They'd just be able to publish it without any concerns for legality or anything like that. Lord Jim, this is Joseph Conrad. I'm looking for a good spread that has an illustration to take a picture of. I'll just go to this one with the rowboats. Yeah, this book is not in as good a condition as I would like. So I think I probably have a list for $9.99 or $8.99. This is a waste of my time, but I'm doing it now. So the slip cover is pretty rough too. The other ones I sold I got from Unique. They had a huge, the thrift store Unique, that's the same as Savers and Value Village. They had a huge lot of these books, and I was looking at them one day, and the price that they were asking for wasn't going to work to make any kind of profit. So I waited until it was Monday, which is the day when they do 50% off everything. And then also with books, if you buy 4, the 5th one is free. So I went there on Monday. I made sure to get them in multiples of 5 so that I could get one free one each time. and then they were half off. So I definitely, even at that price, I was questioning whether I should buy them or not, but I did. And I do have a few left now, not too many, maybe 6 or 8. I probably started with 30 or 40. This one will go on a shelf somewhere. I just moved some stuff in here to make, I didn't move it to make room, but I sold stuff here and that made room. So we'll go here. This is called LR4B. So living room is the 4th shelf over and the 2nd row up is B. So that's my inventory system. Ideally, I've made this simple enough that if somebody, maybe I was in a car accident or something and I wasn't able to do shipping, I could get somebody else to come in and they wouldn't have too much trouble finding the items that had sold. I might have to give somebody a little refresher course or a little tutorial before that, but we'll see if that ever happens. I don't know that it will. Okay, this is a Life Application Study Bible, NIV. I always look up Bibles if I see them in the thrift stores or wherever. It seems like if they say Study Bible on them, they're going to be a little bit more valuable. This one has kind of a leatherette cover. I don't know if it's real leather or not, but it's a little flaky and rough. I think best case scenario, this Bible is worth $25. I'm probably going to try to get $17 for it, something like that. This is another one where I wasn't sure if it was going to be worth the effort. Basically, everything I'm going to be listing today is questionable whether I should waste my time on it. The other, sometimes if you see the books that say red letter Bibles where they have anytime they have a quote directly from Jesus, it's in red letters. Those are a little bit more sought after. If they have the little index tabs on the sides of the pages, those could be a little more sought after. I like those. I like to find those. So this one, not the best example, but we'll take it. Okay, I'm going to search my drafts for Bible. Here it is. So this one I'm only asking, $19.99. If somebody sends me an offer for $16, I'll take that. So this is not a great find, but sometimes these bread and butter sales are better than nothing. You know, they add up. If you sell 16 items a day, that's not so bad. So I'm going to put this right next to that other book. So that's going to be LR4B, where we just came from. I'll go ahead and put it there now. Okay, so here's something that is a little more valuable. I found a Facebook Marketplace listing for a lot of this Spode pottery, these Christmas tree. I think it's just called Spode Christmas tree. And they made everything from platters to plates to this is actually it's called a cash pot. So this would be something that you would put a flower pot inside of. So basically it's a flower pot with no holes in the bottom for drainage. I'm not sure why people collect these. This doesn't seem to be any higher quality than any other kind of a pot you might find at even at Big Lots or something. And I just noticed this has a scratch on it, so I'm going to have to lower the price on that because of that. So this one is about 6 inches, 6.5 inches across, 5.5 inches tall. If I have the person who listed it posted a picture and said, come and get this stuff. It's about, I don't know, 5 or 8 minutes from my home. So I contacted them. They said, yeah, come and get it. So I went and picked it up. The picture had a huge pile. When I got there, most of the stuff was not this Spode pottery. It was other vases and glass that's no name stuff. But there was some silver pieces or silver plated pieces that were brand new, still in the package. Those are worth about $50 a piece. So I have those two. I got two of those. They're brand new, never been used. I have those listed already for $50 each. This one I was going to list for $50. Now that I see the scratch on it, I'll probably lower it to $35 or $40. And then there's a bunch of this Christmas stuff that's still brand new in the box. The guy there at the house, they were getting ready to move or something, clearing out their basement. He said when he got married, his mother-in-law insisted that they buy this Spode Christmas tree pottery, and they never really wanted it. They just bought it because she wanted them to. And then all these years later, 35 years later, they're just giving it away because they don't want to carry it on to their next house. So I took it. I'm happy to have it. With just those 3 items, that would be worth it to make that trip. But I think I'll probably end up about $500 or $600 out of that. I haven't gone through everything yet. This is the first thing I pulled from the Spode pottery. Some of the rest of it is brand new in the box, never been opened. So I shouldn't have to worry about scratches like this. I'm going to try my best to get a close-up of this scratch. And then maybe I'll do one measuring the width. Okay, so let's get this listed. Again, I'm going to search my drafts. I'm searching for Spode this time. Here it comes up. I wrote this draft up last night. Let's put some of these photos in. I think it's probably a good idea to put, if you have a defect, to make that the second or third photo, something early on, so it doesn't seem like you're trying to hide any kind of issues with your inventory. I'm going to go into the description. So I wrote great condition vintage Spode pot with no cracks or chips. And then I just put the dimensions. So now I'm going to have to write good condition vintage Spode pot. I'm going to put a period. I make these descriptions as short and sweet as I can. I don't think a lot of people are reading them closely, and I know that because of the number of questions I get where the answer is right here in the description. Okay, I'm going to write no cracks or chips, however, there is a short scratch across one of the trees. Now, if somebody doesn't read that, they won't know that this has a scratch on it. I have it listed. I have the starting price at $56.99. So I'm going to go ahead and lower that to $46. I'm just making this number up. Then I usually allow offers, and I put a minimum amount that I will consider. And I usually make that about 20% less than the original, the starting price, the buy it now price. Because I don't want to be dealing with a lot of offers if I have this for $50, I will receive 10 offers asking it for $6 or $10 or $12. And I don't want to have to deal with it. So by putting in a minimum accepted offer, what do they call it? They call it minimum offer amount. So Basically, if you send me an offer for this for $10, it will just immediately get rejected and I'll never see it. But if you send me an offer for $40, I will sell it to you immediately. They also have the option in here to put a price that you will just accept automatically, and I've considered doing that, but I kind of like getting the notifications that there's an offer, and then I can decide. It's only been listed for 2 days. I don't really want to sell it for that. I don't really want to take a discount on it quite yet. Or I can say, I've had this listed for 10 years. It's time for it to go. Of course, I haven't had anything listed for 10 years, but you get my point. Okay, I have to find a location to store this, and I'm kind of running out of room for in my little pottery closet. But let's see what we can find. Eventually, I want this closet to be nothing but pottery. Right now, this whole side is basically plates and bowls, the right-hand side. The left-hand side, I'm not adding anything new to these boxes. I'm just hoping that all this stuff will sell and I can clear those boxes out and then use this space for more of this kind of thing. Okay, there's a spot up here. I must have sold something out of here that I forgot about. Okay, that is going to be CL Wright 5A. Good. Okay, that's 4 listings. Let's go ahead and do these Autobahn books. I got these today from a free table, so I didn't pay anything for them. They're pretty nice, like field guides to trees, wildflowers, and butterflies. I grabbed them and I thought if they're not worth selling, then I would just maybe keep them or give them as a gift or something. In this case, they're not really worth selling individually. Maybe you get $4 or $5 a piece for them, but lotted up, I think I can get $30 for the 3 of them. So I'll take $30 for something I got for free. Okay, I'm going to start with this one, get individual pictures of the entire book. These have the previous owner's name written in the back, and then also he had one of those embossing stamps. I don't know if you can see this or not. You know, this front page is embossed that says the Library of William J., etc. Can there? I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can get that in a photo. So I guess that wasn't good enough, so he also wrote, "This is the property of himself," on the back cover, or the back inside page. Do the trees one. I'm saving the butterflies for last. Okay, trees. Most of the other ones I saw for sale didn't have this paper flap left on it. I don't know if that's a selling point or not. This is the property. This guy really didn't want anybody to steal his Autobahn books, and I'm pretty sure he never took these out into the field. They seem like they're brand new. They're from about 1990, I think 90, 92, and then this one might be 2000. Okay, this one has no writing or stamp on the inside, so I'm not going to take any pictures of that. Sometimes I'm just taking pictures of the damage to make sure that any issues are disclosed. Okay, let's get these pictures up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 photos. I'm still having that problem when I shoot straight down like that with the screen rotating on its own, and I don't have a solution. I have not come up with a solution to keep the the camera locked in the orientation I want it to be. So right now I have to go and rotate this, which is not a good use of my time. So if anybody can help with a solution to that problem, please let me know. Okay, that's good. Whoops, now we got to find a place to keep these. It's nice to keep books on bookshelves. I mean, that's what they're designed for, so if I have room, I'll put them on the bookshelf. Even though they're pretty skinny, they're maybe not the most efficient use of space, but it's okay. So that's LR4B again. Okay, that's 5 items. I'll show you one more thing, but I want to clean these up a little before listing them, and I don't want to waste your time watching me clean these things. This came from that bin store as well, the Goodwill bins. I got all of these pieces of a Kirby vacuum, vintage Kirby vacuum. This is an issue about parting things out. Like if I put all this together and sold it, I probably get $30 for all of it. That's what it looks like, 30 to 40. But if I sell these pieces individually, this is probably 20 on its own, 25 on its own. This is 20, this is 20, this is 8 or 10, this is 15, this is 15. It adds up to a lot more than 30. So I'm going to sell each of these parts individually, and they might take a while to sell. This thing takes up a lot of space, so that sucks, but these things are pretty small. They won't be interfering with my inventory storage too much. So hopefully these things will sell quickly and we'll get them out of here. If not, we'll just sit on them until they go. Okay, I'm going to clean these a little, and not too much because they don't have a huge amount of value. I don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning them. But I think we're going to call it a night, and hopefully we'll have some sales next time, and we'll do a packing video. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.